Welcome to Tranquilly Coding. This is our 7th video of the series of creating a country picker using Jetpack Compose. In our previous video, we have created the country dialog. In this video, we're going to create the bottom sheet of this country code picker dialog. So it will be a bottom sheet, not the dialog. So you can copy the dialog and rename it to sheet. We can just change some of the things to make it bottom sheet and not the dialog. So first thing is, let's rename some parameters. Okay, so this is our dialog layout. Just copy it into sheet file. So let's change the dialog to model bottom sheet and we'll adjust on the go. So yes, we are going to opt in for experimental API. Okay, so we added our model bottom sheet. In here we need to change the header. The model bottom sheet is not loading the UI properly. I don't know what is the reason. It is probably because it is still in an experimental UI. So we have to opt in for the experimental material 3 API. So, but in our preview check in emulator, it is showing properly. Let's run it and see how does it look like. So as you can see, it is looking pretty good. It shows all the countries properly. And let's check the filtering. Now the sheet is cut down. Okay, so there is little bit issues with the size of this thing. Let's try to fix it and make it have its modifier back. And fill max height. Okay. So the soft keyboard is interfering with this thing whenever the soft keyboard is popped up and the UI is smaller. So we need to expand its state when the soft keyboard is opened up. First, let's change the header. So this will be country header sheet, and we'll change the dismiss because we don't need a dismiss button on this country bottom sheet. And then the next part is to not request the focus right away. Okay, so cross button is gone. Now when the bottom sheet is focused, I want it to be expanded. Let's do that part. Okay, so I have made some changes in the whole bottom sheet thing. So first we added a sheet state that will remember the bottom sheet state, and added a scope to remember coroutine scope. Why we need these two things, I'll explain a little later. So first, this country search UI, this one request focus whenever we initialize this view. So we have a focus requester, and this is added to the text field modifier. But the problem is, whenever this thing is focused, it looks like this. But this one causes some issues, and that issue is whenever it is compressed like this. If we search something, for example Australia, it will have the Australia, but it is not expanded, so we cannot see the result. So it needs to be expanded to this state to see the actual result. So I have changed the sheet preview size to 90% of the max height, so that it doesn't actually cover all of the whole UI. It be 90% of the max UI. So come back to the previous topic. So I have added a new variable that is called request focus, and it's a boolean. So by default it will be true because in the dialog we need the focus, but for this one it will be manual. So in the launch effect, we said that if the request focus is true for the dialog case, then it will request the focus, and for bottom sheet case it will not request the focus, so it will be free focus. So when the focus requester get the focus requester from there, it will not have any request focus on the text field whenever we call it from the bottom sheet. Now the question is, what happens when we have the focus and it is not expanded? So in that case, it will trigger the focus change, and it will pass the focus state to the to this method. So we have this method called over here on focus change. So it has the focus state. So if it has focus, then we use the scope, the coroutine scope that we requested here, and then the scope will launch this method, that is sheet state to expand. So this method cannot be launched without a coroutine scope. If I make it outside, you will see an error that says suspend function expand should be called from only a coroutine or another suspend function. That's why we get this coroutine scope to run this expand state. So let's test the customization that we did. So right now it's showing like this. So when it has focus, it will jump up, and then we can search anything, for example Andorra, and then from there we can move on to the next part. So this is looking pretty good. Yes, but when we collapse it again, then it doesn't actually go that up. So that's an issue right now I can't fix. I have searched through the documentation, but I couldn't get anything properly that will help me on this case. Okay, so this is working so far as we expected, or somehow expected. This is not the end of the world. So we have our bottom sheet set with the layout, and yeah, I can say it's working with some limitations. So this is for now. We have our dialog set, our other layout set, our bottom sheet set. So now the question is what next? So in the next video we're going to create the main view. So all of this will be going to be working on the background, but still I will be creating ways to use the country sheet and country dialog without using the country code picker UI. Country code picker UI means only that part. So this can be used in a text field or anywhere in the UI. So in the next video we are going to create this UI, and I'll be making sure that we have access to both the dialog and the sheet without that UI. So thanks for watching Tranquilly Coding. I'll see you in the next video.